has owned a Toyota or Honda growing up? I owned both. If not you, at least your friend or cousin probably owned or still owns one. If your answer is a no, how about the Nissan, Suzuki, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Subaru? What's the commonality here? Japan. Have you ever wondered about how Japan went from a mere developing Asian nation to one of the superpowers of the world? What do you know? The real sensei behind such catch-up industrialization was in fact University College London. Clearly, UCL's indirect role in transforming the economies of developing nations to some of the superpowers of the world through state-directed industrial policies is truly underrated. And thus, through this video, we will delve deeper into the widespread impact of UCL economics on state-led industrialization across different corners of the developing world. Oh, hi there. Let us go back in time to 1860s Japan, the decade that was all about the Meiji Restoration. With the revolution on the rise, 5 young Choshu samurai were planning to escape Japan in 1863 to come to England. Take your wildest guess for their reason for doing so. Yup, 3 letters. UCL. We need to keep in mind that Japan, as it flourished, adopted the infant industry protection policies of the forefather of the German historical school, Friedrich List. He advocated that government intervention in trade is imperative rather than fully relying on the market's invisible hand to help industrialize a nation's economy from just an agricultural stage to the stage including agriculture, manufacturing, and commercial services. Now, these 5 samurai were responsible for heading such socio-economic institutions which gradually formed one of the global technological powers from much of an isolated state. Honestly, I mean that the first Prime Minister of Japan and the father of the Constitution, founding master of the Japanese Mint Bureau, founding master of the Japanese Board of Railways, all of whose alma mater was UCL, couldn't bring about such industrial changes. I don't know who could. What's more, Japan's recent ex-Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi is also a UCL alumni. Uncanny affiliation with UCL in Japan's political economy? I think not. Eventually, Japan started being considered as the ambassador of the infant industry argument. And what do you know? The real senpai on the economic policies, George Cyril Allen, headed the economics department at University College London for 18 years. Talking about department heads, Rosenstein Roden, one of the founding fathers of developmental economics, also headed our UCL Economics Department. He advocated for top-down development planning and his theories spotlighting the importance of government assistance in the nation's development became globally widespread after World War II. One of the countries to fully embrace his theories was India, as Gandhi and Nehru were firm proponents of economic nationalism. They campaigned for the fact that why can't we produce our own cars and industrial goods all on our own? Akin to Japan and its automobile industry, Rodin's models compel the government to focus on national infant industries like Hindustan Motors, leading them to release the Ambassador car in 1980s. Ooh. However, even with the state-directed industrial policies in place for explicit protectionism and national benefit, HM failed to improve the ambassador model, making time run out on HM and the model shutting down in 2014. What seemed like a successful case of the infant industry argument turned to nothing but an old, boring car that nobody wanted. I mean, come on. Mahatma Gandhi studied at UCL. His wisdom should have passed on, right? More surprisingly enough, UCL's impact on developmental economics still seems to be a trend even in the 21st century. Mariana Mazzucato, a professor at UCL Economics and a flag bearer of state-directed industrial policy, continues to promote the importance of innovation and public value in developmental economics. I mean, who better to do this than the current special economic advisor to the Italian Prime Minister? All in all, UCL, it seems that as always, seeks to spark notions of state-directed industrialization and influence economies through its education and students, leaving a long-lasting, phenomenal footprint.